Figma just dropped Figma Make, which actually has the potential to change everything, so to speak. It is the tool or service that can finally fix the broken design to code handover. So if you ever had the joy of copy pasting screenshots of a design to coding agent or even, God forbid, ChatGPT, this might be for you. Figma Make actually has the first real shot at fixing this whole design handoff problem, where the developer ends up just copy pasting screenshots to a chat and random things start to happen. So this is Figma Make. It's a vibe coding agent from Figma, which is a design tool or design software that runs on a browser. Pretty much all of the modern web design is done in Figma and with Figma, Figma tooling, basically. But while this is on the surface just another coding agent, it does have the potential to actually fixing a lot of things. Here, this is what it looks like. There is a design, and then that design gets implemented into the application on the right side. And on the left side, there is a chat where the user is telling the AI what to build. And if you can see, there actually is some sort of a copy paste happening here, but it seems to be something like some sort of a magic link within Figma. So why is then the current process broken? Process between design and development. The problem here is that there is no common and unified way of actually giving the design to an AI agent or even a human developer with all the details in place. Basically, for human developers, what happens is that they're just given the full access to see whatever they need to in Figma, and that's it. But with AI, that doesn't really work. So what you end up doing is taking a screenshot of an existing design, going to your AI agent, pasting the design there, much like you would do it in here, except that in this case, this probably is not a screenshot. It probably has more information within it. But the problem that happens with that is that all the details from that design are also gone, because now we're just dealing with a static screenshot. So for example, hover states or small animations, gone. Like drop-down values even gone. Any detailed structure of the UI and components gone, and all of the other details, like even history, gone. It's just a static screenshot that the AI gets, and that's it. So what ends up happening is the AI needs to make guesses. Like, since all the information is not here, well, let me guess how this is gonna or should look like. And what ends up happening is you end up doing a bunch of requests to re-implement stuff, and even in worst case scenarios, like even a small change. Let's say there is a design already implemented and the designer makes small change to the design. Developer takes screenshot of that, pastes it into the agent, and that might end up to a situation where the AI agent re-implements a lot of the UI because it thinks that it should behave differently because it doesn't have all the information. So this is literally the sorry state of design to code handoffs at this point in time. And if you look at the tools that people are using, there's basically two schools. There is the startups, smaller startups like Lovable, Bolt, Replit, which basically are aiming to like automate the task, well, automate a lot of it, but take the designer out of the loop, so that there is a developer who is a product owner specifically, and then the tool makes a lot of these design choices. However, in real life, that is rarely the case that it works like that. There's a lot of things that you need to change. There's usually a branding guide even. So designer is still needed, and they have to go in to that tool to do changes, and then they don't have all the tools that they are accustomed to using. So Figma Make essentially flips this around. So now developer has all the tools that they are accustomed to using, since it is Figma that they are using. But then developer is the one that is getting automated away. Again, same thing applies. The developer is not really automated away because there will be problems, bugs, whatever, that needs to be changed. And the developer doing that, who understands how coding works, will be more efficient doing that. Thus, developers are needed. So there is no, in this school of thought or approach, there is no solution at the moment that would literally just cut off a piece of the team. These are just more different levels of automation for these roles. So why then Figma would be the one to pull this off of removing this problem? The thing is that since everybody, all the designers, well, not all the designers, but say most of the web design out there, for example, is already done in Figma. Pretty much all the designers are already used of the workflows in Figma, which is quite a complicated case. And these people, these designers are using those tools every day and loving those tools, which is a big leap for, like, it's a hard thing to achieve. Like if you just drop in design elements in your application, it doesn't mean that people love those things. So with Figma Make then, since the AI is now within that ecosystem and can actually see the raw design, not just the screenshot, but the actual details and data of that design, hypothetically. This is now what I'm talking is hypotheticals. This isn't there yet, but this is what it could become. And as such, it would have all these, all the access to like actual detailed component structures, or even the history of the design. What was changed? What was the specific thing that was changed? How the interactions work, even down to a color codes, like exact color codes and such, that would be natively there. And access like this gives, because context, when you ask AI to do something, the context, the actual relevant context, like do this, by the way, here's the information you're going to need, that context is the one that dictates the quality of the results. And in this case, the context can be far, far better than in any other tool, because the AI of Figma Make would essentially have access to the actual raw data of that design. So this is the unfair advantage that nobody else in the field has. And this is also the reason why Figma would be able to maybe potentially do this. So there will be a few, I don't know, bends on the road, so to speak. They will need to be able to, they are a design tool by nature. The question is, will they be able to build something that developers also would love and would love to use? Because otherwise it's the same broken system where designers have something that they don't, or designers have something that they love and the developers really want to touch the whole thing. So if they can take this seriously, and if they realize this opportunity and can actually build something that developers want to use, or will they just end up widening this gap? Because when say there is a designer who does a design and then transform that design to code, and then gives that to a coder like, hey, I did half of your work, there you go. They actually made the situation worse, because the developer is the one who has to be on control on generating or what gets generated. So basically they will need to throw everything away, start from scratch, and go from there. So there is also a potential, if they don't properly do this, they might actually make the situation worse. However, they are the only one that is in the situation where they can fix this problem. So there's potential, but it's definitely not there yet. The version that they released is, I'm not sure if it's even beta. It's really early stage. They have something working. Even in the live demo failed that they showed. But it shows the direction that they are at least on some level going, aka having that design and also trying to be like bring in the development to the fold. So if they get this right, this has the potential to actually become the first and effectively only one that can solve this problem. It's not there today, but soon, whenever that might be. Oh, by the way, and the article can be found from the description below, and let me know if this makes any sense. All right, see you on the next one.